Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine McCoy and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for clicking in to drop by, but if you are a returner, it is always nice to have you back. This video, I'm going to be doing a recap of my takeover of the NU Feinberg Med Instagram page. And before we get too far into this video, if you are not yet subscribed, that is okay, I'll help you out. You're going to take your finger, your cursor, go to the bottom right-hand corner. There is a big red button that says subscribe. Click that, turn on notifications, and you'll be notified of all the other videos that I make as I go through this journey of medical school. So, how did all of this happen? How did the official Instagram page of my medical school, Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine, get me to do an Instagram takeover? Since I started medical school, I have made sure to tag them in everything. In reels, in videos, in stories, so they know me. I've followed them for a very long time now. And they've noticed that. Now, probably 2 or 3 months ago, they sent me a DM. They slid into my DMs asking me if I would be interested in doing a takeover. So I said yes, obviously. And the date was arranged to be January 3rd, the start of the new year. 2024 is already going great. I mean, I did a takeover for the official Instagram page of a medical school. That's a lot of responsibility. It's crazy to think about it, but my stories were literally seen by over 1,000 people. I was able to get so much reach. I was able to include many of my classmates in it. I was able to take people all over campus with me, depending on what it is that we were doing. We were not able to go into the anatomy lab, but I already knew we wouldn't be able to do that. But we still had a very, very good day. And it's going to be made into a little highlight bubble, so it will be able to be seen in perpetuity forever on the NU Feinberg Med Instagram page until they get rid of it. Hopefully they don't. But that is why we have this video here, because I shot nearly 15 minutes of content over the course of the day. So it was quite a lot of work, but it was amazing. So I've compiled all of those videos here. That way you, my YouTube family, are able to take part in the experience as well. And to be honest, there were still a lot of questions left over. Like even when I was going through all the not all, but most of the questions that people were putting into the little question box, there was still some left over. So I could do another video if there's some interest. If you all, the watchers, have other questions that you have about medical school, put those in the comments and I would definitely add those to the video that I will make sometime in the future for all of the unanswered questions that I received during my takeover. But we have delayed it long enough. Now I will let you all see all of the videos that I did for my NU Feinberg Med Instagram takeover. Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine McCoy and I am an M1 student at Feinberg School of Medicine. Tomorrow I'm going to be taking you on a day in my life. So make sure you tune in, that way you can see what this journey of medicine is like. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put those in the box above me. I'll be answering them tomorrow. Good morning everyone, it is now time to answer our first question. Where was undergrad? I did my undergrad at Harvard University. I got my degree in molecular and cellular biology. And actually, I do have my degree with me. I hang my degree above my desk in my apartment where I do a lot of studying, and I do that to remind myself that I am capable of great things with hard work. So I'm going to continue that process of working hard at Feinberg School of Medicine. That way I can become Dr. McCoy. I'm joined here by some of my classmates to answer what's your favorite part about Streeterville?
Hi, I'm Richa, and my favorite part of living in Streeterville is being so close to all my classmates, close to class, and all the restaurants.
Yeah, my name is Meredith Osmolsky, and I think my favorite part of living in Streeterville is how close we are to the lakefront. You can get a lot of beautiful views, a good running trail.
The next question is, do you immediately start seeing patients?
Hi everyone, my name is Maya. To answer that question, we have a blended curriculum. So in between the science lectures that we have day to day, we have a bi-weekly clinic called QAndA, in which we go to an outpatient setting all across Chicago and see patients alongside some upperclassmen like M3s and M4s. Additionally, the shadowing opportunities are super immense here at Feinberg, so if you want to go and explore outside of that outpatient setting, you can also do that by contacting some physicians because everyone's super open to work with you here at Feinberg.
What are the class schedules like? Are they all in person, and is there an option for watching online?
Hi, my name is Laith. I'm one of the AV techs, which is like a student study work position. And I actually set up the lectures like every morning. And one of the really cool things about like our schedule is that a lot of our lectures can be done asynchronously or remotely. So there's a live stream option, there's a recorded option, and there's also an in-person option. There are some classes every week that are required that are like you have to be there because of like a anatomy lab or a SAS session, which is kind of like a review session where you kind of have to answer questions in person. But for the most part, the schedule is very flexible and they don't try and keep you in lecture for more than like 25 hours a week.
Can you two talk about the combined MD programs at Feinberg?
Yeah, so my name's Caroline and I'm in the MD MPH program here at Feinberg, and it's really unique because we're able to complete the entire program in just 4 years rather than the traditional 5 or 6 years. And the way we do that is by taking Tuesday evening classes throughout our preclinical years, and it's really nice because we can integrate the public health side as we're learning about the medical stuff in our MD classes.
So my name is Vernon. I'm the first year in the MSTP program here at Feinberg, which is our MD PhD program. It's about an 8-year program, and it's really geared towards those who are interested in integrating both clinical medicine and biomedical research. We start our first 2 years off just like a normal M1, M2, take a bit of a break to get our PhD in whatever discipline we want to, and then we come back for those last 2 years to complete our clinical training.
By the relative conductance to various ion species, and by convention. The IV's up, you're standing on the chair, your muscles are white. Because you're worried about lecturing. The femoral artery is stabilized, the orthopedic resident walks in and examines the leg, you notice that it's very firm. Okay.
Can you tell us why you chose Feinberg?
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Millen. First, there was a couple reasons, but first I really could tell that Northwestern was a school that had a good sense of how to balance the clinical and didactic portions of the education, even in the early years, which I really liked. Second, something that's really important to me is research, and there's really cutting-edge research that's going on at Northwestern that we are all able to take part of. So that was a really big attractor. And then finally, I think vibe was a big aspect of it. All of the students that I talked to during the interview process and during the second look really seemed like they got along with their peers. They were generally happy, and that was a good thing to see and something that I could see myself wanting to be a part of.
Can you tell us about your favorite off-campus activity?
I'm Srini. I really enjoyed biking, and the fact that the lakefront trail goes right by campus is really nice. And in addition to that, the city of Chicago is really well connected with the CTA, and there's a huge makerspace in Irving Park that I go to basically every weekend.
Can you tell us about your studying routine and where your favorite place is to study?
Okay, so about 2 weeks before the exam, I start kind of reviewing and studying for the exam. And first, I'll go back through the learning guides, and while the module is happening, I'm doing Anki, so that's kind of a constant review. Then after I go through the learning guides and answer the questions, I'll start doing questions myself, so the weekly review sessions and the SAS questions I'll go over. And then probably the week of the exam, I'll take the formative quiz, see what is left over of things I don't know, and then pretty much just focus on those things I don't know until the exam. But after Thursday, 5 p.m., I stop studying. I'm done, because whatever I know is what I know. And then my favorite place to study on campus is the law library, and at home, it's in my bed.
Up next in my day, we have anatomy lab, and I cannot take you all in there with me, so I'm gonna be gone for a couple of hours. But it's gonna be awesome, and I will be right back. Just got finished with anatomy lab, and I want to show you all my favorite part of the heart. It is the chordae tendineae, which are your heartstrings. Tell me what your favorite part of the heart is. Could you give someone some medical school interview advice?
Hey everyone, I'm Taha. For me, I know this sounds a bit cliche, but honestly, just be yourself. Literally, in all of my interviews for Feinberg and for any other medical school, I wasn't really asked any questions about medicine. I was asked about what makes me unique, what sports I love to play, my hometown in Canada, what I really love to do most in university, and all of these different questions that really were trying to figure out who I am as a person and not who I could be as a scientist or as a clinician or anything else. So really just be yourself, be true to who you are, and I'm sure any medical school will love to have you and your diverse perspectives.
Could I have the two of you talk about some unique aspects of Feinberg?
Yeah, definitely. Hi, my name is Anushree. I'm an M1. I would say one of my favorite aspects is ECMH, or the Education Center Medical Home. Every other week we go to a clinic, and we have over 30 clinics based around Chicago, and I get to see a lot of Spanish-speaking patients and Polish-speaking patients in mine, and it's really helped me apply what I've learned in the classroom in a practical clinical setting, and has really just enhanced my skills as a student overall.
Yeah, I think, I'd like to mirror what Anushree said. We have a lot of unique stuff here, but I think that ECMH is really the one thing that helps us connect the classroom content to our patients. I know, for example, I've seen 2 heart murmurs in class, and being in the car unit, being able to understand what's going on there, that's honestly been really fascinating. So yeah, ECMH for sure.
It's not even 5 o'clock and I'm already done with medical school for today. As a reminder, if you have questions, put those in the box above me. That way I can answer them, as I've been answering all of the other questions from today. We still have a lot more left in the takeover. Thank you everyone for staying so patient while I made my dinner. It is now time to show you what's on the menu. I like to call it, we have Chipotle at home. So I've got my rice, corn, pinto beans. Instead of lettuce, I decided to use some spinach. I have my sour cream, I have my guacamole. I can put as much guacamole as I want without having to pay $2.50 or whatever it is at Chipotle. And then instead of, shredded cheese, which is what I wanted, the Instacart person brought me a block of cheese. So I had to tear that off for my Chipotle at home. But at the end of the day, it's going to taste great. So I'm going to eat my dinner, and then I'll be answering some of those new questions. Congratulations to you. Hopefully we see you next year. The way that I knew Feinberg was the place for me was I went to Feinberg Second Look. And I actually did mention it earlier. I do have a YouTube channel that I use to document my experiences in medical school, but I'll put the link to that specific video down here. By going to Second Look, I was able to meet all of the other accepted students. I was able to meet deans, AWOME, Augusta Webster Office of Medical Education. I was able to meet different professors, members of the faculty, tour the campus because I had never done that yet. And I was able to see this is a place that I can be happy for the next 4 years of my life. When I look back on this decision of where it is that I am going to go to medical school, I want to look back on it with pride. I want to look back on it knowing that I wouldn't change it. And going to Second Look gave me that confidence. In one word, it was emotional, but it was a good emotional. Like, I was so excited, I started ugly crying. And you think about how long it takes just to apply to medical school. You've got to take the MCAT. You have to write your personal statement. You have to do your primary application. You have to do 5, 10, 15, 20 secondary applications, depending on how many schools you apply to and how many want your secondary application. Then you've got to go on all those different interviews of whichever ones get you past that step of secondary applications. I was so happy. I'm like, yes, someone wants me. Someone wants me to come to medical school. I am going to be a doctor no matter what. This is a good question. We get tested at the end of every module, which is around 4 to 6 weeks long. And currently we are in our cardio module, so we are learning all about the heart. This is a very good question. Now, I do want to say I have answered this question on my YouTube channel. I will put the link down here. And I also want to say that I am not on any kind of admissions committee, so I can only tell you what has worked for me. And what's worked for me is showing that you are a well-rounded student. They don't want someone who is just smart. You have to be more than smart to get into medical school. You have to show leadership. You have to show volunteering. You have to show an interest in research. You have to show that you are someone who can interface well with people. And that is something that people oftentimes forget, is that being a doctor, you are in a customer service type industry. You are working with people. You are talking to people. It takes a lot of social interaction to be a doctor, and they want to know that you are someone who can do that well. So you're also going to need clinical experience. It's a long list. Medical school has been one big lesson in patience and persistence. You go into a lecture thinking that, I know glycolysis, I've done that before. I had to learn it in college. I had to learn it when studying for the MCAT. I got this. This will be an easy lecture. You don't know it the way they want you to know it. You don't know it to the depth that they want you to know it. And it's going to take patience in understanding, I don't know it all yet, but give me a week and I got you. It's going to take persistence, because you go in, you listen to the lecture, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense on the second time. Third, fourth, fifth. Eventually, things start to make sense. And then before you know it, you're a pro. It takes patience and persistence to get through the breadth of the material that they want you to know in medical school and the depth of the material they want you to know in medical school. I don't think that there is any medical school out there that is easy to get into. No matter where you go, getting into medical school takes a lot of hard work. One thing I am noticing, though, in these questions that are popping up from the viewers is that you all have a lot of questions, just how does one get into medical school? So what I've done is I've created a playlist literally just now where I've put together all of the videos that I took, that I created during my medical school application process. That way you can have all of your questions answered. I talk about how I studied for the MCAT. I talk about my personal statement that I wrote, the activities that I put into my primary application, how it is I did my secondary applications, as well as all of the interviews. And that's something that you have free access to right now using the link that I'm putting right here. It is the end of the night. I need to get some rest. That means this will be the last story in the takeover. Again, my name is Jasmine McCoy. I'm the N1 class president. And if you want to see more of me, if you enjoyed this, you can go to my Instagram or my YouTube channel where I talk quite a lot about being in medical school. And thank you very much again for getting all the way through all of those stories. But if you missed them, you can go to the highlight bubble that will be created. Again, thank you very much for watching. Go Wildcats. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you are still here, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, and I really appreciate you being here to the end of the video. If you have questions, remember, go ahead and put those in the comments. I'll answer them about medical school when I can, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.